The full moon has a strange way of doing something that most people try to avoid. It reveals things, not outside of you, but inside of you. And during this reflective stage, something was really clear to me. Most of my life has been quietly shaped by fear. Not the kind of fear that's dramatic or obvious, the subtle kind, the kind that convinces you to hide parts of yourself so you don't get judged, misunderstood, or made fun of. But when I started to pay attention to it, something unexpected happened. I realized that version of me was never really me. Growing up, you learn how to navigate the world. You read the room, you adjust, you say certain things, you avoid saying others. Sometimes you even lie, not because you want to deceive people, but because somewhere inside of you believes that the truth might create danger. Danger in the form of rejection, conflict, losing acceptance. For me, it was my dad yelling at me or taking his anger out at me, so I'd lie. And without realizing it, you slowly build a version of yourself that is designed for safety. That version of me isn't evil, it was protective. But it also wasn't who I actually am. And releasing that is liberating, because it sheds something that keeps me stagnant: fear. Being bored is incredibly rewarding. A few years ago, I didn't even know I can just sit with myself. Silence without intention felt empty, like nothing was happening. But something shifted in the last few years. I started to focus my attention on what was happening in my body. Now, when I sit with myself, I actually enjoy it, and I'm gradually understanding myself. That's when it hit me. The attention I used to seek from the outside world was only rewarding in the moment. But the attention I give my inner self, well, that reward compounds. It deepens. It becomes guidance. The more I pay attention to that inner voice, the more it starts pointing me somewhere meaningful, towards purpose, towards peace. And the strange thing about purpose is that it doesn't always appear instantly. Sometimes it reveals itself in minutes, sometimes months, years, even lifetimes. But all timing is okay, because your soul is forever. So when your attention is focused, you see a path to inner peace. Life doesn't just happen to us, it happens through us. Every blink, every movement, every action, each one has an effect on the reality we experience. And yet, most of the time, we only see the surface of that reality. What we're actually perceiving is a projection filtered through our own mind, through our beliefs, our fears, our past experiences. Every person wears a different lens. We can only see what our own projector is displaying. Everyone is perceiving their own version of reality. The most powerful thing we can do for each other isn't judging, it's listening. Learning from each other, seeing perspectives beyond our own projection. And when people begin reconnecting with their own inner purpose, our collective reality starts shifting too. And then we start learning from each other's temple. Fear rarely originates from within. The feeling I get when I go deep within myself almost always points towards love, towards curiosity, towards growth. I understand this because the deeper I go into meditation, by removing my senses, I see a bright light inside of me. I then feel love. Fear, however, usually comes from somewhere else. Conditioning, expectations, things passed down from my lineage, experiences from my past, or the external world telling us who we're supposed to be and what to believe. When you remove those layers, something interesting happens. The voice that remains inside you is calmer, clearer, and much more aligned with who you really are. Meditation is one practice that brings me back to inner clarity. Meditation isn't just sitting quietly, it's tuning into a signal that's always there. A direct connection to something higher within yourself. And the more you tune to that signal, the more life begins to reveal things. Situations that test you, moments that challenge your beliefs, experiences that expose patterns you inherited from people around you. And those tests aren't punishments, they're opportunities to remove what no longer belongs to you, to separate your authentic self from everything that simply was passed down. Authenticity creates confidence, because confidence is understanding who you are. And fear is simply not knowing. Not knowing your purpose, not knowing your truth, not knowing your inner voice. The more clearly you understand yourself, the less space there is for fear to exist. So this is what the full moon revealed to me. A false self that can finally be released, a deeper appreciation for stillness, a reminder that fear often comes from outside influences, and a growing trust from the voice within. So this stage of the cycle was reflection, seeing the inner voice that the moon presented to you, seeing clearly what the moon exposes. And once you see what the moon is exposing in you, you can then transform it. And that's where the next phase comes in, creation.